Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by the Epic Speed Driver from Callaway.
Rich Lerner alongside Nota Begay III, four-time winner on the PGA Tour. Bryson DeChambeau looking to break a 2-month cycle of negative coverage. Broke loose at Caves Valley with a round of 60. And when is a 60 disappointing? When you have 6 feet 3 inches for 59, what a round.
It certainly was, and he put us all on notice, coming out in 29 in that opening 9 holes, going out and then making a couple early birdies on that second 9, and just the eagle at 16 was incredible, and just unable to convert, Rich, that putt there at the 18th hole, the final hole, just over 6 feet, not able to get it to go down. But nonetheless, he has the lead, which is the most important thing. Incredible 60.
Bryson DeChambeau with Steve Sands after the round.
What's going through your mind and body as you're standing over that putt for a sub-60 round on the PGA Tour, Bryson?
Yeah, I think it's just trying to hit your line and have a right speed. I had the right speed. I misread the putt. So one of those things that it was an awesome opportunity. I had a couple shots, a couple birdie opportunities in 17 and 18, and didn't happen, but still really proud of the way I handled myself, and it was great to feel some pressure again, which is awesome.
You talked about feeling the pressure. When we were walking over here to the microphone, you were saying, man, that was a lot of fun to be in the mix like that, and it's only a Friday on the PGA Tour. So as you're making your way around, how aware are you of what's exactly taking place?
Well, I knew all day that if I continued to hit fairways and greens, I could give myself a really good chance to shoot, a 9-10 under round today. I didn't know that I could get it to 12, possibly 13 under, but that was certainly the goal. I was saying to Roger out in the fairway, I was like, all right, one more, come on. And I hit a great shot in there and just misread the putt. But, I'll look back on this round and gain a lot of momentum from today.
How do you balance the excitement of shooting a 60 with the disappointment of knowing that you had a really good chance at going just one step lower? Yeah,
I mean, it's just one shot. So, I was plenty of holes out there like 10 if I make birdie there, or there's plenty of holes where I could have made a birdie somewhere else. And so, having that pressure there, not making it, I still executed a good putt, just didn't break the way I wanted to. That's all I can ask for.
He was trying to become the 13th man to shoot sub-60 on the PGA Tour, 7 fairways. So, as Nota pointed out yesterday, he's not only hitting it forever, but he's hitting reasonably straight, 16 of 18 greens. The last man to shoot a 59 was in the playoffs a year ago. That was Scotty Scheffler at TPC Boston, a 59. This was quite the performance today. I think he needed it, given the sort of direction of the news flow in the last couple of months surrounding Bryson DeChambeau.
Well, anything to change the dialogue. And the quickest way to do that is to play well, is to go out there and do something that is exciting. It's like watching a home run hitter up to the plate and does exactly what you want him to do, hits one out of the park. Yeah. Whenever there's a 59 watch on, it is exciting, especially with a player who is at times as controversial as a Bryson DeChambeau is in terms of how he approaches the game, very disruptive in a lot of areas. But you see that a lot of those different changes and things in the way he approaches it, they really paid off today.
What's the next step for Bryson DeChambeau to consistently, or the way you'd like to put it, relentlessly contend on a consistent basis, the way it seems Jon Rahm is doing, or the way Tiger did for so long? What is the next step for DeChambeau to get to that level? I think just maturing to the point and getting a greater understanding of just when and where to use the power. You can't use it all the time. And I think there are courses like TPC, the Players Championship at Sawgrass. You just can't go out there and overpower those golf courses. Augusta National does require length, but it also does require finesse and artistry. And so once he starts to find that balance between, okay, when to really go after it and produce those 320-yard carries that we're seeing this week, and when to back off and maybe hit a 3-wood, I think we're going to see a much more consistent approach from Bryson. It's a good point. They played lift clean in place today because of the rains last weekend, mud on the golf balls. Just curious, how many strokes do you think that's worth when you allow the greatest players in the world to get their hands on a golf ball and give themselves the perfect lie? Well, I think it's indicative if you look at the strokes gained putting statistic, and it's like, well, why would you look at a putting statistic to talk about ball striking? Well, because the top 5 ranked players in the putting stat are all within the top 6 on the leaderboard. So it's telling me that everybody is
hitting the green, but not everybody's making the putts. So what it does is it allows players to be a little bit more precise. You're seeing almost 10% more greens being hit this week than the tour average, and it's because they can not only hit shots closer from the fairway, but they're also able to hold greens from the rough. So it's the penalty or for missing a fairway isn't as drastic as on a regular week. You
know who else is really good at grabbing attention? Is Phil Mickelson. And Mickelson with an eye-opening shot before he ever teed off at Caves Valley in the second round of the BMW Championship, posting this on Twitter. Word is USGA is soon rolling back driver length to 46 inches. This is pathetic. First, it promotes a shorter, more violent swing, injury-prone, doesn't allow for length of arc to create speed. And during our first golf boom in 40 years, our amateur governing body keeps trying to make it less fun. Well, we reached out to the USGA for comment on Phil's tweet, and they are not issuing an official statement at this time, instead referring people to their website, which shows the research that they have done to this point on the Distance Insights Project. In this particular area of interest, there was an open comment period from mid-February until the end of April, where the USGA received input from all sectors of the golf industry, professional tours, other governing bodies like the PGA of America, recreational players, and, of course, manufacturers. I spoke to an industry leader who told me that the potential move to cap driver length was inconsequential, no big deal. Certainly a hot topic at the BMW Championship today. Here's what Rory McIlroy had to say as to what Phil put out on social media.
What are your thoughts? Because not many guys are even at that.
No, I went back to 44.5 earlier this year. Like I don't think driver length is the right way to tackle what the governing bodies want to do. I mean, I would be in agreement with Phil. It's not, there's, a lot of amateurs just pick a driver off the rack and it's going to be 45.5 inches. I mean, no one's even thinking of going to that. So it's not I'd be very surprised to hear the average golfer play a driver shaft any longer than 45.5. So don't think it's going to make a huge difference.
Noda, what do you think of all this?
I think it's a non-starter. I think that the engineers and manufacturers have already maximized a lot of the thresholds with the various components of the driver. We're talking the depth in the face, the size of the head. It's capped at 460 cc's. And so you're looking at an issue at 46 where hardly anybody on the PGA Tour, much less in American golf, plays anything in that realm.
Phil plays a driver that's a little bit
Phil
longer.
does. And don't get me wrong, there's always going to be sort of the outliers that sort of want to challenge, the different thresholds. But, at the end of the day, when you're driving on a wet, rainy road, playing a driver that's over 46 is like driving down that road with bald tires. And you lose a little bit of control. You can still navigate, but you lose a little bit of control. And if you are under that 46 threshold, you are able to have a little bit more control. It's like having a good tread on your tires. And so, Louis Oosthuizen went from a 46-inch driver to a 45-inch driver earlier this year, went into a softer shaft, started seeing better returns in terms of efficiency and effectiveness with his driver. So that threshold really seems to be in that between the 45 and 46 inch length.
Yeah, Brooke Henderson, you pointed out on an earlier show, LPGA Tour plays a 48-inch driver, but chokes
down 2 inches, so it would impact her.
All right, lots happening in the world of golf. BMW Championship.